Kenny Pickett had his SUV briefly stolen during a radio interview. His playbook was inside too. What I wanted to ask you was like, has anything like this happened to you from when you were a player? Both the playbook and the SUV were returned, and I know that charges were filed against whoever ended up doing it. But do you have experience of anything of this nature? Because it's just like I read this headline, it was like the SUV was only gone for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I haven't had of that magnitude, no. But they found it. They got it back. They found exactly who it was. So that's what Pittsburgh too. When Kenny Pickett calls 911, or when he calls the Pittsburgh still and say my SUV got stolen, I had a playbook in it. Okay, what kind of SUV you got? I got this kind of SUV. Up 30 minutes later, we got it right back. That's just what it's gonna be. It's like an all-out manhunt, man search for the city of Pittsburgh. And you don't take the city of Pittsburgh. You don't take nobody car anyway. Period. That's just
Yeah.
when it comes down to stealing and carjacking, I think that's reckless. It's consequences for that because people work hard to get to where they at, and they made decisions you didn't make when you were younger, or they just made better decisions, and it was consistent over a long period of time. But when you take KP's, the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, not only SUV, but you take his playbook, there's going to be some consequences, and they're going to get that thing back as fast as possible. And that's exactly what they did. That's like taking the president watch. That's not going to work in the city of Pittsburgh. They're going to shut everything down in the city of Pittsburgh. People call off for work in Pittsburgh just to get that man SUV and, and that playbook back. People get how people feel about the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, especially the franchise quarterback. Man, it's more than just the police.
No.
It's the whole city looking for you. So they got it back ASAP too as well.
Like taking this out of this specific instance, how secretive are teams with playbooks?
Man, that's the Bible. I mean, I don't want to put in comparison with the Bible, but that's how valuable the playbook is to a team. That's the formula. That's the ingredient. When you take somebody's playbook, you're taking the Bible away from them. You're taking a lot. You're taking a lot of money. Just think about it like that. When you take somebody's playbook, you're taking a lot of money away from them. And the reason why I say you're taking a lot of money away from them is, that's all we can do. So our playbook is the Bible, in a sense, when it comes down in the football world. That's something you wanna critique. That's something you wanna be perfect at. You wanna strive for perfection when it comes down to that playbook. You're putting your body through all the physical torture that you need to go through the season, but none of that matters if you don't know that playbook. If you can't pick up that playbook, if you can't get that playbook down pat, especially at the quarterback position, that's the hardest position other than quarterback, secondary guys, but that quarterback, that's the hardest position, I think, in my mind, on the field. So you take that playbook away from him, man, you just taking a lot away from him. You taking away the whole organization. So I'd rather, even though they got both back, I'd rather them steal the car. We can easily get a car, but it's hard. But
Wow.
it's torture to have that playbook out floating around. So now there's no competitive edge. It's just like you having a black book, Mark, or you having a diary. That's for you. That's only for you. Somebody get a hold of your diary or your black book, man, that's like secrets nobody never knew, or stuff you don't want nobody to know. So that's how I look at it with that playbook. Take the car, get the car back. That playbook, man, it's hard. It took years to create that playbook. It's a reason why you can't pay to get a playbook from the NFL player. That's just a golden rule. You can get another car. Kenny got the money for it, but for that whole organization, you can't pay to get a book like that back.
I know during HBO's Hard Knocks, that's always part of it, where it's like when they're making the player cuts, they'll be like, coach wants to see you, the GM wants to see you, and bring your playbook as well.
Yeah.
And you just know how special that is. That's an amazing line, that you'd rather get the playbook back than the car itself. I don't know of any other professions, unless you had like a computer with like, I don't know, like proprietary technology or something like that in it, to where that would be the case where it's like, hey, we'd rather have this documentation than the car itself. Pretty incredible stuff, Ike.
Yeah, I'm glad they got it back, Mark.